Hello, good day to you all. Happy New Month. The month is still very fresh, so we can still greet ourselves Happy New Month. So, it's getting dark already, but I just want to quickly use the light in my car to do this recording. Right, we're looking at a controversial scriptures for our scripture emphasis, and that scripture is in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 15. 1 Corinthians 7:15, and it stated, he said, but if the unbelieving or unbeliever live, he said, let it be so. He said the brother or the sister is not bound in such circumstances. He said God has called us to live in peace. That is NIV version. In this passage, Paul is addressing believers who are married to unbelievers. Specifically, when the unbelieving spouse chooses to leave the marriage. So, here is the breakdown and what it means. The context of that verse is this. Paul is advising Christians in Corinth on marriage, especially where one partner is a believer and the other is not. Get that very clear, okay? Where one partner is believer and the other one is not. During this time, many people converted to Christianity, and situation arose where only one partner in a marriage converted, that leading to a mixed marriages in terms of faith. Okay, let me give you key points on that scripture. The first key point is there. He said, if the unbeliever live, let it be so. Paul encourages believers to let their unbelieving spouse go if they insist on living. He advised against forcing the marriage to continue if that will cause unrest or hardship for the believers. Alright? Don't misquote the scripture. Alright? Number two key point is that he said the brother or the sister is not bound in such circumstances. This implies that believer is not obligated to stay in a marriage if the unbelieving partner decided to leave. Understand, unbelieving. In this context, not bound means they are free from the marital bonds in the sense that they are not guilty or abandoning their marital responsibility if the unbelieving partner initiates the separation. Is that clear? Number three key point in that scripture. He said God has called us to live in peace. Paul is emphasizing that God desires peace and harmony in the life of his children. Yes. If the marriage to an unbelieving, or probably if the marriage to an unbelieving caused disruption, or probably to the unbeliever is intending to leave, the believer is called to prioritize peace. This doesn't encourage believer to leave their spouse. Understand that it doesn't encourage believer to leave their spouses, but rather give freedoms in case where the unbeliever depart willingly. Okay, let me give you the practical implication. The practical implication is, Paul's message here is to prioritize peace. Prioritize peace and faith over legalistic adherences to the marriage bond in such cases. It allows believers to move forward without guilt or feeling trapped in the marriage that the unbelieving partner has chosen to end. However, it's also a reminder to respect the sanities of marriages and not to take this as an excuse for an unnecessary divorce. This passages ultimately speak to the balance of upholding faith while handling the practical realities of relationship, especially with different believing or different beliefs. Don't misquote the scriptures. That's how far I want to go on it. Okay? Does it make sense? If it makes sense, let me know. And if you have a question on this,